Yeah. It is right around 1:55 p.m. on Sunday, August 4th, 2025. I'm actually preparing to try to take a shower in this bathroom and trying to use the facilities. And over the last 20 minutes, while I have been gathering my towels and my shower stuff in this unit and standing around my bed, pulling out clothing items, socks, underwear, etc., to prepare to take a shower and get ready to leave, the same exact violent slamming and banging from directly below in 76 and concurrently now somebody in the bathroom of 78 has been occurring over the last 20 minutes in a very obvious activity-specific surveillance-based pattern that is coming from two separate people at the same time. So one directly below in 76, who every time I go over to my bed and pull out socks and underwear and put them out on my bed and get ready to prepare to put out my clothes, somebody directly below in 76 starts repeatedly slamming and banging things directly below my bed. And then over the last 20 minutes, while I've gone into my shower to try to use a toilet, I haven't used a toilet yet, but every time I lift up the lid and stand here, there's somebody directly behind this wall, repeatedly smacking the area of this corner right here. That happens to be the sink area of the bathroom of 78, but because it has been going on for over 20 minutes, I don't think that that person is legitimately smacking and slamming things against the wall while they're, brushing their teeth. Brushing your teeth is not a violent activity. I'm not sure what else they could be doing in that bathroom at that sink for over 20 minutes that causes violent, repeated slamming and banging whenever I happen to open this toilet lid or then pull out my shower items and try to get ready to take a shower. They also started slamming something directly behind the wall of my sink as I was standing at that sink, flossing my teeth. So they have some kind of, once again, an oral fixation where I can't open my mouth to do anything hygiene or eating related without one of these two sex offenders in 78 and 76 becoming violent and aggressive, either directly against the wall where I'm brushing my teeth or then directly below wherever I happen to be standing in this unit, drinking or putting something in my mouth. Usually it's when I'm standing at my sink, and that person directly below in 76 has been slamming and banging things continuously for the last 20, 25 minutes while I've been getting ready to take a shower from directly below. So it's two people, one directly below right now in 76 and one directly behind this wall in 78. And whoever is also in 78 right now makes loud male sounding grunting and groaning noises. And it sounds exactly like a bull mooing, like that. Right? So it sounds very male. And I just left a voicemail for the Greenville group letting them know that I cannot safely or privately use this bathroom, not just use the bathroom, but even just brush my teeth at that sink. And then when I went over to that sink, they started smacking the wall behind that sink. When I was standing there flossing my teeth, they were smacking the wall behind that sink. There's no privacy in here. These two psychos are obviously violently triggered sex offenders who use surveillance devices, and they become deliberately interactively intrusive when I try to remove clothing, use a toilet, or step into the shower to take a shower. And whoever's in the bathroom of 78 has also been burning and smoking and propagating some really sickening, intense fumes over the last hour while I've been preparing to take a shower and initially going into my bathroom. I also had to clean the area around the toilet, and they were deliberately burning and smoking and propagating sickening amounts of, I'm not sure what. This time it smelled a little bit different than cigar and marijuana. It smelled like rotting onions, which is also one of the odors that I had been reporting to the Greenville group over the last 11 years that Jasmine Irizarry has been deliberately burning and propagating into my bathroom and into the area behind the sink. Starting in 2013, I've been reporting a smell of burning, rotting onions, along with all kinds of other unholy, stinking, foul-smelling stench and smoke and fumes that fill my bathroom. That started happening an hour ago. And I thought, oh, well, maybe there's somebody in there just, smoking because they're weird and they like to smoke in a tiny, windowless, unventilated bathroom in the middle of a beautiful Sunday. Well, they're still in there. They've been in that bathroom for over an hour now, and the smacking and banging, the repeated violent slamming and banging started happening 20 minutes ago when I really started just getting my stuff ready to get into the shower. This is an intimidation tactic that is entirely surveillance-based, and whoever is directly below 76 is smacking and slamming things below my sink when I stand at my sink, below my bed when I put out my socks and underwear, and it's two people doing it at the same time. As I keep saying, Jasmine Irizarry is one of those individuals, and there's a giant gorilla-like entity person who keeps going back and forth between the bathroom is 78 and 76 directly below, and I've seen that person going up and down the stairs multiple times over the last few months between 78 and 76, and they're very quiet, and it's the same person that's been like, they literally tiptoe, so you don't hear them going up or down. You just see a giant shape coming up and down the stairs, and they always go into 78. I know the sound of that door opening and closing, and I know the sound of the door of 78 opening and closing versus the sound of the door of 80 or 81 opening and closing, because over the last few years, I have been jumping out of the way when I hear those doors, those two separate doors opening, and somebody comes out, because usually those people who come out of those two units come at me in the stairwell or in the front landing when I'm standing there, and then they engage in some very harassing behaviors directly in front of me that cause sometimes me to have to call the police. So I know the sound of the door of 78 closing, and that person who keeps going back and forth between 78 and 76 directly below has been doing this for months. But right now it's two separate people. So it's like two BFFs who have nothing going on. They're both sex offenders. They're both violent, aggressive, hate stalking, supposedly paid BLM activists who use surveillance devices to engage in constant perving and creeping and violent harassment when I remove my clothing or try to use my toilet, as I was doing 10 minutes ago, and somebody kept smacking that wall behind the toilet. As soon as I lifted the lid of the toilet, whoever was in that bathroom, was my toilet dirty? No, it's clean. Just saw a shadow. Whoever's in that bathroom keeps smacking the wall as soon as I open the lid of this toilet, and it's very activity specific.